In this video, you will learn how to make a post on our new WordPress website. If your website role is editor and above, you will be able to make posts, edit posts, and delete posts. To make a post, go to your post on your menu over here on the left side. Go to Posts, Add New. I'm going to break down all the sections in the post area so you know what goes where and why we structured the WordPress layout as is. This is where you add the title of the post. It could be anything you want. WordPress does have a new system called Gutenberg blocks, which basically means if you type a paragraph, and you hit enter, it will make a new block. Think of the blocks as new paragraphs. And also keep in mind when you're designing your posts, the paragraphs spacing may not necessarily look like this in the final version. So sometimes you may not even need extra spacing in a new paragraph. So let's just leave this here for now. If you scroll further down, you'll have your subtitle. This is mostly for feature stories that we would run from our magazine. So if you type something here, the subtitle will show. If not, it won't show. We'll also have the byline preface, where you get to select from these lovely selections. If there is something you want to add, please ask an administrator of the site and they could add it on there for you. This byline area over here is strictly for recipes only, because with the way we format our recipes, we tend to get them from cookbook recipes. Sometimes it would be from our editors, but we want to credit those sources properly. The content type is print or web. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you select the web, the issue and the year sides will go away. So if you go to print, you get to select which issue the post you're about to make was featured in last. If you scroll further down, this is photo credits. Again, this is the credit byline preface. If there's anything else you want to add, please let one of the administrators know and they could add the new byline preface on there. Last part here are the entry images. The thumbnail will show in the archives. Pretty self-explanatory. If there is no image, don't worry. The code by default will put like a Wine and Spirits logo there as like a placeholder until we have an image. If we don't have an image, then our lovely logo will take its place. The homepage image will take place at the top of the homepage. It is basically this image over here. So it is very, very important for you to place an image here. Otherwise, it'll just be an awkward white space. In regards to this main feature, yes or no, I picked no by default because there are two different layouts. If you pick no, then the layout will show as is with news posts, wine reviews, so on and so forth. This is the template when it is not a feature. And this is the template when a post is a feature. It's minor differences. You don't have to use the feature template whenever you do post a feature, because sometimes the picture won't fit into the layout. So you have two choices to pick from the templates. Last but not least, the authors. So self-explanatory, say the story is by Joshua Green. And you pick Joshua Green, the name will show there. WSN team shows here by default, but if you have an editor, hover over this red trash can selected and delete. Joshua Greenman is now the only author of this post. Let's move on to the categories. The categories is how we sort all of the content on the site. So please be very, very careful when you're selecting it. If you're doing Best New Sommelier, you could just check Best New Sommelier. You do not have to check Feature Story. This is more of a heading to separate the category from everything else. Unfortunately, WordPress doesn't have a way for me to just make this into a header. So just please keep that in mind. So yeah, just be sure if it's news, you can click wine news. If it's spirits news, you can click spirits news. If there are things that kind of overlap, like say a spirits article that has a cocktail recipe with it, you can just select cocktail recipes and spirits features. This way, the post will show up in spirits features and in the cocktail recipes section. But again, this is to the editor's discretion in how they want to categorize the post. The tags are important as well because they are what we use to help generate the related stories at the bottom of a post. So the more important tags you put in, the code will search for that commonality in the tag and generate the stories that they think would be similar to what you have posted based on the tags you have placed there. And as for everything else, you could type out whatever you want. Blah 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 blah. Just pretend there's paragraphs here. You can add images. You can add links. If you want a link, simply just highlight the text you want to link and click this little chain link over here. If you hover over it, there will also be a pop-up explaining to you what that is. To add an image, you can hover over one of these boxes. Hover one over here. Wait until this plus sign comes up. Add block. You can either do that here, or you can do it here on this add button up on top. So you can select an image, or you can search for it. We search for an image. We want to upload, or you already have uploaded something previously, or you know there's an image within the media library already. You can search in the media library, which is essentially like our backend gallery for all the posts. Right? And let's say I want to use this image. Just float in. By default, it will be flush left, but if you want to flush it left and right, you can hover over this alignment button here, and it'll give you all the choices you want. You can go full width, you can go center. Say I want to align this image right. And because the image is so big that, the text isn't really budging, you can always shrink it down. You can either adjust it with these dots over here, or you can go by percentage here. So if we shrink it down to about 50%, the image will wrap around the text. And that's it. And that is how you make a post.